Hey guys, first regards in here, and so I'll be talking about the best heavy build for Space Marine 2 patch 13 for operations and hard stratagems. Now the heavy is supposed to get a perk tree rework a little bit in the future, but for now he is pretty much identical to patch 12, and his best weapon, in my opinion, for operations and hard strats for both factions is the heroic heavy bolter Chains of Duty. Now patch 13 buffed up body shot damage on bolters by like 30%. All of them got like a bit of a rework to their headshot multiplier as well, and because of that they feel substantially better for horde control, and that also extends to this one. Now, the heroic perk effect here is called Reinforced Gun Casing. Perfect parry window increases by 50%, and after a gun strike, the weapon is completely cooled. This is a very powerful effect because it not only gives you this increased perfect parry window, but it also grants you a fencing parry window, and a fencing parry window in this game is so damn strong for the heavy class. This will help you out with Chaos Spawn a ton. It will help you out with Whip Warriors and stuff like that, and the hardest part of the heavy class is his balanced parry window, and for that reason I think this is the best weapon on him for like 99% of the player base. Now another hidden effect of this weapon is that you have your maximum fire rate immediately the moment you pull the trigger. So what happens here is that the moment you hold the trigger down, you will fire off just immediately your max fire rate, as opposed to the relic tier where you have to like kind of wind up for your full fire rate effect, and because of that the heavy bolter actually has a higher DPS in a lot of cases than these two. Now, or maybe not DPS, but like it has a higher instant 100 to 0 or 0 to 100. You know what I'm saying? Point is that this thing does a lot of damage. Now for the perk tree here, we take fast venting first. Weapons cool 15% faster. Moving here to the perk perfect cooling. After a perfect time dodge, the equipped weapon is completely cooled. Moving over here into the perk increased capacity, down here into the perk headhunter, and then I pick up the perk heavy immunity. While in heavy stance, you do not lose control of heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. This perk is incredible. You pretty much always pick this up on every single heavy stance weapon, because the heavy does not have a lot of sources of no knockback at all outside of things like gun strikes for Indomitable Spirit, and because of that, having this built into your weapon is super damn useful for you, and you pretty much always want this. Next perk here is Adamant Restoration. When your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by 25% of the maximum capacity. Cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now, because you have the perk over here, Fortitude, for a health increase of 30%, you are exceptionally tanky on the heavy class. You do a ton of damage, you have a ton of survivability, and when you are at that low HP threshold, thanks to this perk, on top of the perk down here, Conviction, for a 25% health damage reduction, you can kind of hover at like 40% HP, get knocked down below 30%, and then get your CHP back, and not really like lose anything and just be up ammo. So a really good synergy there, and this is actually one of the best combos in the game for the heavy bolter, in my opinion. Next perk here is Heavy Might, up here into Heavy Might again for a 30% damage increase, and then I pick up the perk here, Discipline. When you have low ammo, you will deal 25% more damage. Because of the way the ammo economy on heavy works in this game, you actually hover around low ammo quite often because most of your ammo is drip fed back to you through perks like this or your prestige perk tree with options like auxiliary reload, and because of that you have a ton of options to just like get this damage buff off, which is super nice. Now the final perk options here are up to you. You can either take things like I did here with fast venting down here to the perk perpetual cooling and divine might, or alternatively you could skip over these two and go up here for great might for terminus damage instead of a flat damage buff and increase capacity for more ammo. That is up to you, and that's pretty much all there is for the primary here. Now for the secondary, you can take the heroic plasma pistol if you want. This basically fires off a one fat overcharge shot that is higher damage than a heavy plasma incinerator in a lot of cases, so it's a very strong weapon effect, but on this build I still think the rate of fire is better. This is just like an overall higher utility weapon because this one is all damage, but this weapon is better for things like contested health recovery and far more manageable on like instant staggering enemies, and it kind of fills in the gaps on this build where like the heavy bolter kind of struggles, and because of that I kind of prefer it here. Now for the perk tree, I just go all the way into the ammo economy because ammo economy is like the main thing this weapon suffers from, on top of stuff like perpetual velocity for faster charge shot speed, and also things like divine might for more damage. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary. Now for the perk tree, it's pretty much the same as last patch. You take restoration first, killing 7 enemies wraps accessory restores an armor segment. The the cooldown is 15 seconds. Armor Restore on a drip feed like this is incredible in Space Marine 2 from like patch 1 to patch 13. You just take this perk, it is much better than multi-kill, does nothing for you, and auxiliary ammunition does like jack shit, so definitely pick this one up. Next perk here is Fortitude, health increases by 30%. This is the best perk in this column in my opinion. It makes you way tankier in this game, and because of that you're able to dish out way more damage and worry less about your HP and stay in that heavy stance. Next perk here is Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all team members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This will buff up your range damage for yourself a lot on top of your teammates, but there's also a hidden effect here where your Iron Halo will count as in cooldown while it's active, so you can actually simultaneously trigger this perk with the perk over here, Brute Force, for a 25% range damage buff. That is super useful in this game, so a really good synergy there. And next perk here is Encompassing Aegis. All team members take 25% less damage from range attacks. Now, range damage reduction will affect your armor, not just your HP, so you are getting the added benefit of taking 25% less from your restoration perk here for your armor regen, on top of breaking down to your HP, on top of things like Conviction for even more damage reduction. So you are exceptionally tanky with these perks together, and also Encompassing Aegis helps out classes that use a ton of armor regen, like the Tech Marine, a ton. So for the next perk here, we take Consecutive Execution. Killing 7 enemies, Rapid Sessioners for equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 90 seconds. 90-second Melta Bombs, Shock Nades, the new Pyroblaster Canister, these are all top tier effects. This is such a good perk. Consecutive Execution has been god tier since the game came out, and it's no different in patch 13. It's the best install in this column, and like pretty much every build that has it. Next perk here is Power Regulator. Iron Hail loses energy 20% more slowly. Now, Field Adjustment is a bit faster on the regen than this one is overall, but the slower energy loss does come out to like kind of make up for that and give you effectively a similar cooldown, but this one's still a bit faster. So you want to like lose that extra durability to like get a faster Iron Halo, you can definitely do that. I just prefer this one. Next perk here is a Brute Force for the reasons I previously mentioned, and the final perk is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This perk is incredible, super underrated. You will one-shot cultists, one-shot spore mines, bramble, and stuff like that. It will help you out tremendously in this game, and Offensive Capability really is just that good of a perk. And also they buffed up the perk here, Coolant Reserve, this patch. They buffed the damage and not the trigger requirements, so this one requires your teammates to be dead or grabbed, which is terrible. So for that reason, I would just skip over this forever. This is not worth a 50% damage buff for like such a ridiculous requirement, because first of all, your teammates getting grabbed, that will never happen in this game. You're never going to have both teammates be grabbed simultaneously for more like 5 seconds. Also, if they're all dead or like you're the last guy alive, you probably have bigger problems than the buff from Coolant Reserve. Maybe this will help you then, but this is like the ultimate bad perk of planning for failure, and these perks will keep you alive when you actually like to prevent that failure in the first place. So that's why this one's better, and I would say Conversion feels also quite strong, but just stay away from this one. Now, for the Prestige perk options, I do take Auxiliary Reload first, melee kills of extremists or higher enemies for ammo by 1. This just gives you a percentage restore on your heavy weapons, so the heavy bolter here will get like 100 or so rounds back depending on like what your max capacity is. That can change depending on perk selection, but for the most part you just take this all the time because it enables your ammo economy. Next perk here is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you will take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. A 25% health damage reduction is incredible in this game on top of a 30% HP increase, so you pretty much always pick this up. And the final perks here are things like Indomitable Spirit for no knockback on gun strikes, and then we take Reverberating Impact. Though I want to mention here, Duelist doesn't work on the perfect parries for balance or fencing as of patch 12. That was confirmed like a dev email, which kind of sucks, so like it's all currently a placebo effect, but just keep that in mind. And that's pretty much all there is for the heavy class. Hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye.
The Emperor's great might.
Status report. Railing heavily damaged. Friendly casualties.
exhausted.
FTG, what classes do you feel are the most efficient slash best for true solo? All of them. But I would say anything that's super tanky will be a bit easier because heavy, Bulwark's probably the easiest. Vanguard with all his healing. You know, like the real question is, when you ask like, what's the easiest thing in the game? It's almost always going to be a thing with a greater margin for error, right? That's the fundamental crux of an easy class. And what has the largest margin for error besides Bulwark and Vanguard?
Has touched death.
Not a lot.
Waste nothing, brothers.
Not a lot.
We have put down the foul dogs of that bastard Magnus. Execute time. Eliminate that contemptuous element. Warped souls and mutated minds. A disgrace to the Emperor.
Guess we didn't get anything major for reinforcement there. That's nice. Yeah, so in patch 13, the gun does indeed shred Minoris now. The heroic heavy bolter is, in my opinion, the best option for heavy. I mean, I think it always was because of the fencing parry window, but especially now.
Investigate possible heretical activity in the lower levels.
Especially now.
Pack a little more bite.
We have been displaced. Extreme heretical corruption observed.
It hungers. It will seek out your anguish to whet its appetite.
The corruption must be concentrated nearby. Corruption is widespread. This facility is compromised. Corrupted astropods identified. Corrupted astropods targeted.
That heavy really is that guy.
One death is insufficient penalty for your heresies.
I mean, really, the crux of a class for me is like, where would I rank it? This class is A tier for the simple fact that you can just mop up Chaos and Tyranids, and any class can do that. I would struggle to put below anything but A tier. Also, they can do it efficiently on their own. I mean, the problem with Vanguard and why I wouldn't put him in A tier is because Vanguard doesn't have the boss damage. He can get fucked up on bosses pretty hard. And bosses tend to be the hardest thing in the entire game. Look at this.
Psychic asset compromised by Thousand Suns for unknown summoning ritual. Grenades and chainsaws made for this kind of obscenity.
The changer of waves. Grant us implements of retribution.
Urgent objective. Deprive hostiles of resources. Destroy the astropath's remaining construct, and then put the rabbit guard down. Locate tactical cover.
So in this patch, they did nerf the altar thing. They patched it, so you can't just hide behind the altar to avoid this now. You have to like do executes and actually play the game. How tragic is that?
Their request for reinforcement has failed.
Damage imminent.
Remove that spearman from the right of the traitors. Get him. Ammunition here. Sanctified believers.
Anything but anglers. Come on.
The Zangor's opposition has ended in death. A dark path ends. The Codex demands it. Traitorous scout. Stern.
I'll get in on that area before it starts doing its thing. I'm pretty sure it goes at thresholds though sometimes.
Arrogance and ambition.
It's got still pretty decent at long range too. I mean, what's your aim button? Mouse 4. I would never use the base middle mouse button. It feels awful in this game.
Complete tactical cover.
A victory for the
Do we know if they're nerfing the cape count? They're most likely nerfing the cape count.
Objective seized. Target is unprotected. Kill order confirmed.
What we got? What are those guys?
Execute that one. Let it summon aid.
Terminate cipher combatant.
That one's calling reserve force. Burn their experience. Thousand suns. Filthy sorcerers. A dark path.
Eliminate hostile astronauts.
Pack a little more bite. Enemy reserves incoming. Prepare to strike them down. Their attacks will shatter. Silence that spearman's clacking feet. The spearman troubles us no more.
Neutralize astropath target.
Ow. Right as my shield dropped. Oh yes, thank you. Everything else is vanilla. Pretty even asked. Next keybinds, all the other key binding is
Waste nothing,
vanilla.
brothers.
The only one I think just properly sucks in this game for keybinds is that aim button. That is awful.
There is no...
Not fear the changer of ways.
else we got?
You will be only the first.
Dark confluence of unholy power ahead. The second company is already lost. We are its last.
Sorry, I had to change the pin.
Deceptive auditory tactics in play. Do not engage.
An army of warriors marches on us. Terminate that perversion. Become a beast. Die.
That's that parry. That perfect parry. God, fencing is peak. You know, if you want to use an Inferno pistol for the Chaos Bomb, it's also not a bad option. Should have mentioned that in the build portion, but...
Let's just pack a little more bite.
So if you remember the headshot modifier is on these guys as well, just aim for anything that looks like a butt, and you're probably gonna be okay.
The Emperor's great punch. Glory to the Imperium!
Neutralize compromised astropathic assets.
Now, unfortunately, we got the worst section of this entire map here, which is, of course, the generator portion. Ah. How friendly of them. See, the CAP recovery here is still top. Ah, there were two of them. That explains a lot. That explains why there felt like a disproportionate amount of missiles going on.
Powerful heretic combatant detected. Move to investigate.
May the Codex demand.
Target is advantageous terrain and is unassailable.
Ooh, crack grenade.
If
Much
we
better.
awaken the machine spirit, we will be able to activate the bridge. Requisition power cells for that generator.
We retain superiority. Press the attack, brothers. The multiforms and weak sanctified weapons.
Find power cells.
Arrogance and ambition.
Improvised objective. Locate power cell for the generator. Power cell identified. At the generator.
Send the spearman back to its master. End this spawn's twisted existence.
You have to tell. Look at that increased body shot damage with fetch. Cause speed.
Traitorous scum. Still.
Power cells are mission critical at this juncture.
We honored our Primarch today, brothers.
I have a power cell.
The Codex demands it.
Let's interact over here. Oh dear.
Preparing power cell replacement.
The Shangar is reduced to a stain on the back. Let us crush his helmet like it's in. Back grenade.
Find power cells.
I have a feeling the last one's over here. Yeah, there it is. 50 hours for a cape, though.
Located power cell.
Operations don't take 50, unless you mean the
Sanctified.
100 one. Dude, when I think of the cape I want on most classes, it's probably the red one, not the black one. They're probably gonna lower it to like 50 for like, or like 40 or something.
Bridge in.
Like 20 for a normal one, 40 for the other one. But that will take no time at all. That's the thing, though. That's really more of an issue if they don't have enough. They don't actually have enough cosmetics in the fucking game yet than anything else.
Follow me through. Pack a little more bite.
New objective. Eliminate any and all warp aberrations.
I am the Imperium's Aegis. Silence that spearman cannon! The spearman troubles us no more. Keep going forward.
At long last, a melt-a-bum. Like that.
Resources acquired. Obstacle removed.
Interloper from a warp detected below. Focus on the beast and engage. Press the assault! Unleash your wrath!
No holding back.
Incoming warframe barrage. Highly engaging. We're caught in its wake. Sorcery suspected. Malevolence tears at our spirits, brothers. Search for egress points. Observation. I see a light. Conditions tolerable. Offensive resumed. Tentacles are the priority targets.
Pack a little more bite. Arrogance and ambition lead to death.
Tentacle threat pacified. Fire on the beast.
That's awkward. And a parry phase? Come the fuck on, game. That's just brutal. That's just brutal.
Seek cover immediately.
Keep them off guard. Ammunition expended.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I wrestle with inner corruption.
Oh, I can't even get out of that.
I am not done
That sucks.
with this. I am forged.
I blocked out with an Iron Halo. I know you can block with the Bulwarks, that's a wonder. You can. That's interesting. Noted. I know you can do that. I've never tried.
Wargear lacks efficacy against that warp shield. More heretics for the slaughter. Eliminate hostiles before they interact with the beast.
Become a beast. Die like a beast. Fire on that malign, the Codex demands.
We definitely need to just like play this with this. Yeah, I kind of want to save the Iron Halo for just like so I can just lay in them for the final portion.
Pack a little more bite. My barrier intrudes.
The beast is nearly spent. Execute target now.
There we go. That's all it takes, chat.